Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, we are back again for another episode of Wake Up and Win with myself, Jasmine Naomi. Now, can you believe this is the fifth episode of Wake Up and Win? I feel like I've been doing this for weeks, but I literally started last week, Monday, and it has been I don't know. It has been an effort. Let's just say that it's been an effort, but a good effort. I really enjoy waking up and winning and doing these videos. I really love interacting with you and speaking through Instagram. Sometimes some of you DM me through Instagram and connect with me on there, and it's really good. I'm really loving the conversations we are having. So Monday we talked about environment, and I've had quite a lot of conversations this week about environment from the video that we did on Monday. And it was very interesting because many of you were aligned with the message. Many of you understood the message. Many of you said, yes, I have a goal, I have a dream, I have a vision, but I know I need to be in a different environment. I need to move differently. I need to be, in a different space. I need to be around different people. You understood that, which is great. I loved it. One of the conversations, however, I had was about how do I move out of the environment? Like, I know that I need to move out my environment. I know I need to change, but how do I do that, Jasmine? This is all I've ever known. I don't really like new spaces. I don't really like, it just makes me feel uncomfortable speaking to new people or, being in different environments. My words, I need to get my words out. Yes, it feels uncomfortable being in different environments. What does that sound like, people? What did we discuss on last week, Wednesday and Friday? What do those statements in particular sound like? Yes, limiting beliefs. This lady had limiting beliefs about change and what change meant for her. So I challenged her, because she said she's never done this before. She's never, gone out into new territory, and it's never felt, it feels new. It feels really uncomfortable. So I challenged her and I said, really, you've never done this before? You can never think of a time where you've had to change environment? And she said, no, I've always been how I've been, my family stayed the same, etc. So I challenged her again, because we all have. We've all been through changes. We've all been through changes, whether we've wanted to or not. We've all changed environments. We've all been put in situations where we felt uncomfortable and have had to adapt and have had to grow in those environments. An example I gave is when you go through the school system. As from when you're born, you stay with your parents the normal way. This is not everybody's story, but this is what society have structured as the route, the path that we are to go through. So it's, you're born into your family, and then your parents, at some point have to go to work. So you're put in nursery, or you stay with grandparents. So you're taken away from your mother and your father, and you're put in a new environment. If you're going to nursery, if you're going to a childminder, that's a new environment. You're having to adapt and get used to new strangers, to new faces. And you might not like it. Not all children. I know mine didn't. Not all of them, some of them. But I know my last child, she bawled her eyes out when I had to first leave her with a childminder. It broke my heart. But eventually she got used to it. And just like you did, you adapted to your environment. You changed and you became what that environment was. And then you transition from nursery and you go to primary school. And then from primary school, you go from the oldest, you're the oldest in year 6 to being the youngest again in year 7 when you make that transition from primary to secondary school. A whole new environment. A school 10 times bigger than the one you were used to being in. New faces, teenagers, grown teenagers. You may not even have developed fully. You might not even have gone through puberty. You feel whole sense of intimidation from people who have walked the walk and talked the talk before you. And that felt new for you. But guess what? You adapted. You got through it. You're here today. And I'm not saying it was smooth sailing, because of course, everyone's experience was different. You may have had obstacles that you've had to fight through, that you've had to go through during your teenage years. Yes, but you are here today, right? You are here today. You've lived to tell the tale. So you have adapted. And then from secondary school, you've gone to college, from college to university or into the workforce. The structure that society has structured for you, you went through that structure, you went through that path and didn't even question any of it. You didn't say, I'm not ready for this. You didn't talk back or say, you know, I can't do this. You went through it. It was programmed in you to go through it. But now that you have to think for yourself, now that you have to think outside of the limitations that society have put on you, now it's hard. Now you're coming up against some resistance, because you are having to make that decision. No one else is making that decision for you. You're removing yourself from the safety harness that society has created. So when I put it like that to the lady this morning that I had to talk with, she said, Jasmine, you know what, you're right. However, my transition from primary school to secondary school wasn't a great one. You know, it had a lot of bad memories for me. She did not have a great time in secondary school. And because of that, because of her transition from primary to secondary school wasn't as great as many of us may have experienced. I'm not saying that all of us had a great experience, but some of us may not have had that smooth transition. We may not have had a good time during secondary school. So many things may have gone on, but because of that, for her, she formed a belief that change wasn't good, that it's better to stay safe. You know, comfortability, like being comfortable and being in a safe circle was better for her. It was painful to even think to step outside of her comfort zone. So I'm sharing that because on this journey, it's so important to do this work. We need to understand, we need to have an awareness of where we are and the blocks that may be blocking us. What is the resistance to change? Even if it's a slight resistance. When you feel, and it doesn't have to be something big, you can feel a little resistance. Think of it like the hesitation. You have a small hesitation. You might be, for example, so I did a bungee jump a couple of years ago, and I got to the top and I had regrets straight away. As soon as we got up, I was all fine going up, but as I got up, I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do this. Madness. And I was going to jump, but I had a slight hesitation. So I didn't move straight away, you know. I was like, and that's how it could just be something so slight. And then it took the person that was up there with me. He said to me, I've got you. Now I know he can't have me. I'm about to jump. How can he have me? But it was something that just clicked in there with me. And I was like, okay, I can move through that. And I jumped. But the hesitation, the resistance can be that small. And you have to figure out what is that resistance, because you don't want to keep ignoring those small resistance, because you'll come up to a point in your career, in your business, whatever you're trying to pursue, and you're going to hit a big block. And you're going to think, whoa, what was that? So doing this work and understanding where the resistance comes from, you will be able to, again, eliminate the limiting belief around that particular area and be able to move forward. So with this particular lady, I did something called timeline, which is something that we use in neuro-linguistic programming. And we were able to create a new story for her so that she was able to move forward and overcome that limiting belief and then create more options for herself in her decision on where she wanted to go, right? So do the work, people. Do the work. This is, I say, I'm a business and executive coach, and the majority of the time I start with mindset with all my clients. Everyone, we do an element of mindset, because again, I need to understand where my clients are and how they see themselves before we can move forward. I don't want to be working with you and you're taking action and then there's a block and you're procrastinating, you're not doing something and you're avoiding tasks because you're not we haven't identified things, maybe some of the limiting beliefs that you hold within yourself. So I always start with mindset before we can move any forward. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, and I want you just to explore this yourself. Go deep today. Go deep and find out where have I got limiting beliefs? Where are my blocks? What's stopping me from moving forward? Procrastination. Where am I procrastinating? I said I was going to do this 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, and I still haven't taken action on it. Why is that? Yeah, procrastination is a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. You are avoiding something, and it's not the work that you've set out to do. It's something a lot deeper. So I really want you to, just go deeper with that today. Continue conversating with me. I'm really loving the conversations that I'm having as a result of these videos. It would be great if you could leave a comment so I could comment under the videos. But I understand some people have some resistance again to putting comments on YouTube videos. But I'm going to say this. Don't be afraid to comment. You never know who is watching you. And believe me, people watch you. They may not like, they may not comment on your post, but they are watching. So even if you put a message saying, my name is XYZ, I do XYZ, leave your contact details, that's fine. Use the platform. I may not be raking in, thousands of views, but someone somewhere will see see what you do. Because I know when people comment, I'm gonna look on their page. I want to know what they do. So don't be afraid to comment on here or on my Instagram page. And yeah, let's meet back on Friday. Shall we meet again Friday, 6 a.m? Yeah, you know the place. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you on Friday, and have a blessed day, people. Have such a great day, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.